Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 304. It is Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. It's going to be like 90 degrees. Why am I in a hoodie? Well, it's always cold in my house. My wife keeps the air pretty chilly, so I'm always in a hoodie. But it's going to be a nice day. Probably mow the lawn since I'll be out of town Sunday and Monday. I went. So we had a late frost 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, where we had 2 nights where we got frost. It dipped down to like 35, 36, 37 degrees. I had planted, and I planted late this year. I planted my cucumbers, my tomatoes, dill, basil, marigolds in my vegetable garden, and I think I lost. The tomatoes might make it. The dill is probably going to make it, but I think I lost everything else. Good morning, Herman. Happy weekend to you. So I kind of gave it a couple days. I wanted to give it a few days and just to see if they would, bounce back. But the cucumbers went the opposite way, and they are DOA. The basil DOA. The tomato plants, they don't look too healthy. They're not very vibrant, but I think they might stick it through. So I there's a nursery just down the road, about a mile down, and went to the nursery and picked up. Actually, I did I just basically replaced the 3 cucumber plants I had, 2 pickling cucumbers and a slicer. And they also, this time, they had what's called a cucamelon, which I've never even heard of. It's basically a cucumber that looks like a melon. I don't know, so I'm gonna try it out. And then I did buy 1 tomato plant, a beefsteak tomato plant, just in case. We'll see. So hopefully the tomatoes will bounce back. And then I bought a basil, and so they all look good. I don't do it from seed; I do it from plants. So the plants. The girl, the cashier, said that they just got these in, so hopefully good to go. So that was my Friday night gardening, and probably do some yard work today. Herman has a full day of recitals. That does not sound like much fun. I have a day of mowing, shipping eBay stuff, and maybe opening a couple Bowman mega boxes. So I did, well, you saw it live here yesterday morning. Brad included shot the link over when they went live yesterday morning. So I bought 6 boxes. So I have 18 altogether. A batch of 6 is supposed to be delivered today. The other 6, I think, is coming tomorrow. And then whenever they ship the ones I ordered yesterday. So, and I did open my my final retail box of Bowman last night. It was kind of a dud. Didn't pull an Austin Martin. I pulled a Blaze Jordan paper. My auto, I did pull a green shimmer refractor auto, and I can't remember who it was, if that tells you something. So, and then I pulled a couple. I did pull a Bobby Witt purple chrome, so number to 250. So that was actually probably a bigger hit than the autograph. And then a couple paper blue parallels, number to 499. Nobody special there. So it was kind of a dud box. So I have opened all my retail Bowman. Now I've got the mega boxes coming my way. So I haven't really listed a lot of the singles of Bowman outside of the hits, because I'm just waiting to open everything else. And I might even just set them aside in a box and let them simmer for a couple of years. Who knows? Herman can't get into Bowman. Passed up more at Walmart last night. See, if I saw Bowman in front of me, man, I'm scooping. I love Bowman. Bowman is my jam. And I will buy retail until I can't. And this year, I'm interested to see the print runs when I get my Bowman mega boxes, to see how much more they printed of the mega boxes this year than last year. because they've been more plentiful on mega boxes than in years past. I don't have much to talk about. My allergies are bothering me, as you can hear me sniffling. So tomorrow is Anawan Fun Days. So I'm gonna go live tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go live tomorrow morning, probably 7:30, and then I'll hit the road at 8. So I can share what Anawan Fun Days is all about tomorrow morning. So that's about all I have for today. Herman says there was a whole display of value packs. Nice. See, I'd been scooping them up. So our local Walmart has them at the service desk, customer service. So actually my buddy Ryan tweeted or messaged me yesterday. I guess our Barnes and Noble has football, Chronicles football. And they're at the service desk because I actually went to Barnes and Noble last week just to check, and they didn't have any out on display. And then he told me they're behind the counter. So I didn't even know when he said Barnes and Noble has Chronicles. I had to ask what sport. I don't, because I guess Baseball Chronicles probably going to be coming out at some point, but Chronicles football was at Barnes and Noble. I don't really have any interest. I'm just jonesing for my mega boxes. I had my retail box to rip, so I've got plenty to rip. And then he did say, I think he said Chronicles were at Walmart as well. And then our local Walmart has them behind the counter also. So it's not something like if I don't need to go now, it's to the point where if I was at Walmart, so if I went to Walmart just to check out cards or, needed copy paper or something, I would run in, check the cards, and I'd probably buy a pack or two of Chronicles football, even though I'm not big into football and it's off season. But I know football is I think football's ramping up and it's going to be pretty hot, I think, in the next couple months. So, if it was there right in front of me, I would buy it, but I'm not going to make a special trip to Walmart. I'm not going to make a special trip to the customer service desk to ask for cards. It's just, I don't know. So, but if I was there, I would buy. Herman picked up 6 fat packs a few weeks ago and was going to pass them along for anyone that couldn't find them, but those things are everywhere. Yeah. Which is really strange. Which, I don't know if all of a sudden, it's hard for me to gauge what's going on, because I don't know if they just haven't stopped the printing presses on Bowman. I think not selling in stores, Target is holding some back, so it's available online. But basically in the past, and I've talked about this before. 2017, I bought a case of Bowman. It was under $800. 2018 cases were like $1,100, and I lost money on that $800 case ripping and flipping. So there was no way I was going to spend another $300 to potentially lose even more money. So that's when I went the retail route, and I had a lot of fun. It was fun ripping retail, and there was a really good bang for your buck. And this was even before, prices skyrocketed in 2020. So in 2018, 19, and even last year, because Bowman came out, it was late. It was actually around this time last year, which is later than it usually, it typically comes out April, which it has been, and it's still available. So usually you can't find Bowman retail after 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. Because usually I'll clear shelves. In the past, I've cleared the shelves because I went in I think it was 2019. It wasn't last year. It was 2018 or 19. And I went on a Saturday. So all the stores are stocked on Thursday and Friday here. At the time they were. And I hit up every Target and Walmart in my area. So 3 Targets and 2 Walmarts. 3 Targets and 3 Walmarts, because I went to the east side. And I cleared the shelves of all the Bowman. I just bought, a ton of Bowman. And guess what? There was no more. Like, that was the only stock of Bowman, and I would have kept buying it, kept buying it, kept buying it. And it dried up. But now here we are. What? We're 6 weeks after release of Bowman, and it's still online at Target. Well, not right now, but it's available when they put it up on Fridays or whenever. Bowman mega boxes in the past have been, you couldn't get them. 2017, and I've told this story, 2017, they were on the shelf, and I just thought it was another blaster box, and I had already bought Bowman. And in 2017, I bought a case of Hobby, so I wasn't really looking to add more Bowman to to my collection. So I just thought it was another blaster box, and then I read like a few days later, oh, it's a special refractor in their really hot product, and then I went back, and of course they were gone. 2018, I didn't see a single mega box, and I was going to the stores like every day trying to find them. 2019, I found 4 loose boxes in the wild. Fortunately, I had some people on Twitter send, I think I got 20 boxes, 10 from Stephanie down in South Carolina, another 10. They just gave them to me for cost plus shipping. And then last year I got lucky, and by the time the mega boxes were released last year, we had people at our stores starting to line up waiting for the vendor. He did a little sneak attack on them. Said there was no Bowman mega boxes. The case was gone from the back. So he told me, so I was at the other Target store. I was there when he was stocking another store that same day. And he said this store didn't get any, but the other 3 stores did. And so I knew he was going to the store nearest to me later. So, okay, I know for sure he's there. So I don't know if he was throwing us off at that store. I never did find out if they had mega boxes. I think he was actually telling us the truth on that. But my buddy Johnny was at the store nearest to me when he was stocking. And he's like, the vendor's here. He says there's no Bowman mega. And I'm like, well, he just told me a few hours ago that this store got a whole case of 40 boxes. So I thought it was weird. So I'm just gonna go check it out just in case. So the guys waiting, the guys standing around, they had already left. I went over to the card section, and it was a mess. And our vendor is like, he keeps the shelves very nice and organized. And I'm like, if he's done, he would not leave the store with the cards looking like this. And I mean, it was like right after he had told these guys that, I mean, it was 10 minutes later maybe. So I knew he was probably still around because he's not done. So I'm like, something's up. Something wacky's going on here. So I grabbed a cart. I did have some shopping to do. So I did a little shopping, and I'd kind of wheel around to the front, check. I was, looking around. Do I see the vendor? So eventually I did my shopping, and it'd been 20 minutes and still no sign. Nothing had changed at the card section, no sign of the vendor. It'd been almost a half an hour. It's time for me to check out, because I think, he was telling those guys, and there actually wasn't any mega boxes. So I go check in. Fortunately, the checkouts there were lines. And so I was like third in line waiting for the checkout. And after a few minutes, I happened to look over, and here's the vendor wheeling a cart with a big box. Nobody else around. So I just kind of meandered over, looked at the greeting cards out of the side of my eye. I was watching. He wheeled it up to the customer service desk. All of a sudden, another guy walks up. I'm like, shoot, we're going to have to share. I'm not going to get 40 mega boxes. Yes, I would have bought all 40, and I would have ripped all 40, and I would have loved it. But I saw another guy walk up. So this time I'm like, okay, now I got to get closer. I gotta stand there, because I don't want to lose out on all 40 boxes. So So me and this guy are standing there, and so the vendor, wheels the case of mega boxes up, and he goes, "Mega boxes?" We both, yep. And he goes, "Are you okay with sharing? There's 40. So do you guys want 20 each?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that works for me." Other guys like, "Yep, that works for me." So he's like, "All right, well, I'm not comfortable just handing them to you. So I'm going to put them on the shelf. And if you guys want to take turns or whatever, just count 20 out." So the other guy's like, "Well, you were here first. You just take the first 20. So I'm like, "Okay, that works for me." So I got my 20 mega boxes last year that way. I was counting out. I did not expect to get any mega boxes this year. And then all of a sudden I missed the first round online on Target. But then I was able last week to get 6. And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, well, because I know Target cancels if you try to do multiple orders. I'm like, I'm going to try because I think I have 2 signups, 2 accounts. The second one I never use because I use the main one. I'm going to try the second account just to see. And sure enough, I got them and they're going to be delivered tomorrow. I only bought the 6 yesterday morning. So I have 18 coming, which is 18 more mega boxes than I expected. And it's weird to me how there's not more. I mean, they would sell on the secondary market for much more the last few years than what they're selling for now. I mean, there were some at the card show I was at last weekend. There were a couple of guys that had retail. They had $50. They were selling them for $50. But one guy was set up across from me, and he was I think he ended up selling. He had 1 box, and he sold it for I think 45. So, I mean, MSRP is 30. Like when I heard him say I'd take 45, I should have went over there. I mean, I would have totally bought it for 45. So Herman says, seriously, could it be because Target cut them off? I think that's why we're seeing more available, because I think, and this is kind of a psychology thing where people know if Target stores were being stocked, people are going to go. And if they don't get football or basketball and they've waited an hour or more in line, they don't want to waste all that time and come home empty-handed. So they're going to take what they can at the store. So they're going to, and there are limits and everything. But, around here, there were sometimes up to 50 people waiting for the vendor. So, there wasn't going to be 50 blaster boxes of Bowman or whatever. So, that's the one time that I waited and had my turn, like I think New Year's Eve. I didn't see at first the good stuff, the basketball and football. And so I just looked at the shelf, and it was like a Panini Contenders draft picks baseball. And it's like, well, I'm here. And I think at that time it was limit 3 items, or 3 per each thing. So I grabbed 2 blaster boxes of Contenders because I didn't want to go empty-handed. I waited in the store for 45 minutes. I want to take something home to rip. So I think that's, that would be the case where, in the past, or like me, like I would bounce from store to store, scooping up all the retail, but it dried up. And now it seems like there's more and more. And, I don't know what it is. But baseball's just not a flipper. Like baseball's not a flipper product outside of, in the past, mega boxes have been. Heck, there was a time where Bowman Platinum was in Topps Fire were flipper products, but that was, first when they were first retail only, and they were, ooh, this is shiny new. Guess what? Now it's a couple years later and nobody wants the stuff. So baseball's just traditionally not a flipper product outside of a few things here and there. So that's what I had for today. Bored you with my mega box story for probably the 40th time. So I apologize for that. So that's what I had for today. Have a great Saturday. Again, I will be going live tomorrow morning. It'll be much earlier than today. I slept in today. We actually had an issue with our puppy dog last night. I was, our dog has kind of a weird stomach, and she's a rare case of a dog that doesn't like food. She is not food motivated. She's she loves cheese. Um, she's motivated by walks. That's like her biggest motivator. You want to go for a walk. So I was in and out with the garden, and we were gonna play. She has a toy that she gets all excited about, so we throw the toy around in the backyard. And sometimes she'll get super excited, and then all of a sudden she like shuts down and wants to go inside. So I kind of tease her with it, and she gets all excited, and then she like just, nope, don't want to play. I want to go inside. So she did that. So I think that's when she doesn't feel good. So she goes inside, and I stuck around. I came in, and I could hear the whatever, before dogs are going to throw up. I'm like, oh shit. So, oops. Sorry. Oh shoot. So I did not get to her in time. So she threw up on the couch. So, tried to get her to the sink. She was done. So I put her next to the water bowl, get a drink of water, starts hacking again, got her outside for round 2. She was good. So then I had to clean the couch. My wife came home, and, I told her about it, tried to get her to eat. She wouldn't eat a thing. And then she started throwing up, and then she her eyes were like, she couldn't keep her eyes open. So, so my wife took her to the emergency vet. There was like a 3-hour wait. They told her it's, try to get her to eat something, because she didn't eat lunch. She didn't eat dinner. She starves herself, and then she throws up. So, brought her back home. My wife, I think, made her some hamburger meat, and she gobbled that up. Like, she just went to town. So, hopefully it was just bad stomach because she starved herself. Herman's funds are tied up in Allen and Ginter, and now they are pushed back to November. Oh, I didn't know Ginter was pushed back. Usually that's a July release, because it released the week of my wedding, in 2017. That's a fun story for another day. I did not realize Ginter was pushed back. I haven't really paid attention to the release calendar outside of Bowman and Heritage in Flagship, Series 1. Cheese and peanut butter. Yep. Yeah, our dog, man, loves cheese. So that's all I had for today. So have a great Saturday. Back tomorrow morning. Check out Hobby Hotline coming up in about a half an hour. Hobby Hotline on YouTube. So check them out. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, probably in the 7 o'clock hour, going live before I head out of town. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk tomorrow.